my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Espresso only on SABC3 on this Friday morning, the 13th, of course. Now, according to the most recent National Health Survey conducted in 2012, 1 in 10 South African adults has diabetes. Now, this is a hard-hitting statistic, and it makes diabetes a growing concern in South Africa. Now, World Diabetes Day is taking place tomorrow, and in order to help understand the importance of good nutrition and in managing diabetes symptoms, Woolworths dietitian Cindy Chin is here to inform us a little bit around diabetes. Cindy, nice to have you with us this morning again.
Hi, Ewan.
So diabetes, why are we focusing on diabetes specifically today?
I think it's so important to raise awareness about diabetes because, as you said, 1 in 10 South Africans actually have diabetes. But what's also shocking is that 20% of us might have diabetes and we don't know about it. So pre-diabetic. And by raising awareness, we can hopefully counteract that and address it earlier on before we... And we can actually delay onset and maybe even prevent it.
So what would you attribute to the very quick rise in diabetes? I mean, it's a rather scary statistic if you talk about it.
It's quite a complex thing. It's linked to obesity, rapid urbanization, obviously unhealthy diet, and just a really fast-paced lifestyle as well. So I think all those things contribute to maybe a toxic environment that's not really conducive to a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly, and I think it all comes down to, in a big way, to diets, because the focus this year is healthy eating. What role would kind of healthy eating play in kind of, trying to limit the disease?
It's actually quite a significant impact because I think recent studies show that up to 70% of diabetes can be prevented by a healthy diet. So, I mean, that's huge just by doing that alone. And then the other thing is if you can teach children healthy eating habits from a young age, you can obviously then prevent the onset of especially type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is different because it's genetic, whereas type 2 is definitely linked to lifestyle disease, lifestyle as well.
And specifically focusing on then, I guess, the type 2, the common question around diabetes is sugar. How does that fit into the mix? And what are some of the symptoms and what can sugar does?
So there's a lot of hype around sugar, but the same guidelines for the general population apply to those people with diabetes. And the current recommendation is 5 to 10% of our total intake should be from sugar. That's 6 to 12 teaspoons, which sounds like a lot, but if you add it all up, hidden and otherwise, it's actually very little. It adds up quickly. What we do know, commonly people think sugar causes diabetes, but it's not as direct as that. What most recent research shows is that it's actually linked to more contributing to empty kilojoules and obesity, and then obesity increases your risk for type 2 diabetes. So that's the link.
All right, so coming back to healthy eating, you brought a couple of ingredients here. Take us through and why this makes up a good healthy eating regime.
So I think it's the same for the general population. Again, it's no special food for diabetic. And we've got a lovely plate model that actually represents the proportions of food. So we all know what to eat, but how much of it to eat, that's another question. So the plate model shows half of your plate, try to fill it up with fresh green leafy vegetables, quarter with protein of some form. So oily fish would be a great option, or lean chicken, or lean fat-trimmed meat. And the other quarter with some sort of whole grains or starchy foods, but definitely stick to whole grains and not the refined starches.
And I can clearly see also quite a lot of greens as well, specifically your spinach and your chives and whatnot, and the kale. All right. So for those people living with diabetes, what are some of the resources out there to really help them manage their diabetes, and also what is Woolworths doing from your side to encourage a healthier kind of living in terms of eating?
Well, currently we're conducting nationwide store tours that are dietitian-led. So it's a great way for customers to actually go have a walkthrough and see what sort of foods are suitable and actually learn about reading labels. So very hands-on and practical. We also have our website, which has lots of resources, recipes, meal plans, and lots of product ideas. And there's a lot available. You just need to go to the right places to find the information.
Cindy, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us some great info in terms of a healthier living and managing diabetes a little bit better. Really appreciate your advice always. So when it comes to preventing and managing the disease's effects, a healthy lifestyle and good nutrition, of course, is absolute key. So act today and change tomorrow, and educate yourself and your family on how to make those good food choices.